Shalom. Welcome to another video. And before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash, and next double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the Great Millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of whether people hear or whether they forbear. All right. So this lesson is going to be going into the topic of how America's allies would turn on it. All right, they're going to nuke it, and how it's going to happen. All right, so this is according to biblical prophecy, and we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Now, to start off with, I have a couple of articles pulled up. All right, and this one here is from BBC. Okay, it says HRW, all right, which is the Human Rights Watch, accuses Israel of war crime of forced displacement in Gaza. All right, so we see a picture of a destroyed city, all right, in Palestine, in Gaza, and it says as many as 130,000 Palestinians have been displaced by an Israeli ground offensive in northern Gaza since October. It says Israel has committed war crimes and crimes against humanity by deliberately causing the mass displacement of Palestinians in Gaza. A report by Human Rights Watch, the HRW, says about 1.9 million people, 90% of Gaza's population, have fled their homes over the past year, and 79% of the territory is under Israeli-issued evacuation orders, according to the UN. HRW's report says this amounts to forcible transfer and that evidence shows it has been systematic and a part of a state policy. It also says Israeli actions appear to meet the definition of ethnic cleansing. Israel said the report was completely false and detached from reality. All right, which, they're Edomites, so that's what they're going to do. Okay, so this is what's happening. All right, even with the attacks that were in October. All right, now we can't 100% say for sure, but it's not far-fetched to believe that that was a planned attack, for the purpose of justifying what the Israelis are doing right now in Palestine, in Gaza. So this is pretty much just a display of how the world feels for the most part. Everyone is seeing what's going on over there, and the vast majority of people around the world are not okay with it, except for pretty much the Edomites that are here in America, Babylon the Great. Mostly evangelical Christians. All right, but everyone else in the world sees that it's wrong, and they are condemning that behavior. All right, which is going to lead us into the topic that we're talking about today. Once again, America's allies will turn on America and nuke it, and how this is going to happen. All right, it all starts off with what's going on over there in the war in the Holy Land. All right, so let's go ahead and get the next article. All right, and this is from CNN World News. Let me close this out, Salakia. All right, it says Amsterdam fears another night of unrest as it grapples with anti-Semitism and violence. And this was updated Tuesday, November 12th, so a couple of days ago. So they've been having protests over in Amsterdam. All right, it says Dutch police patrol after riots in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, on November 11, 2024. All right, it says Amsterdam police were bracing for yet another night of unrest on Tuesday as the Dutch capital grapples with anti-Semitic violence that started with attacks against visiting Israeli football fans last week. The Dutch capital was put under emergency measures last Friday following the clashes that broke out after Tuesday night's soccer match between Israelis Maccabi Tel Aviv and Dutch side Ajax. So this further displays, all right, that most people in the world are angry about what's going on over there with the Palestinians. All right, they see it as wrong and immoral. As the HWR says, that the Israelis are guilty of war crimes, against the Palestinians. All right, so let's move on into the scriptures. We're gonna go here, all right, into the book of Ezekiel 36 and 5. Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 5. All right, and it reads, it says, "Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. All right, so why am I reading this? Because the people that are in the land right now, the Israelis, are not the same as the biblical Israelites. Okay, according to prophecy, when the biblical Israelites return to that land, there is going to be peace. Okay, let's go ahead and prove that right quick. All right, we'll go to Isaiah, the 2nd chapter. Okay, Isaiah chapter 2. Okay, it says, let's see, Isaiah chapter 2, and right here, go ahead and start off at verse 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. All right, and the mountain is the government of the Lord. Okay, the government of the Lord's house, which is the men, the tabernacle of David, is going to be established on top of all the governments over the earth. All right, this is known of as the kingdom of heaven. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Okay, so this is talking about when the actual Israelites go back into the land. Okay, it tells you that nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Okay, so the reason why there's war in that land is because the people that are there right now are not the biblical Israelites. Okay, they are Amalek. All right, so they're Edomites, which is the chief nation of Esau, and they've taken over the Holy Land and are calling themselves the Israelis. Okay, and what they're doing is they're drawing out all the different nations to war, which once again, it tells you exactly who took over the land in this Ezekiel chapter 36. Okay, verse 5. We'll read it again. It says, Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea. Okay, Idumea, let's go ahead and click on it. Okay, you look it up. Idumea is the Greek word for Edom. All right, so it's the Edomites that have taken over the land. Okay, and not only just the regular Edomites, but Amalek. Okay, and they went into that land by way of the Rothschilds. Okay, in 1948. All right, this is the fulfillment of that. 1948 was the fulfillment of this prophecy right here. Okay, so he said, I surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen, and against all Idumea, okay, Edomites, which have appointed my land into their possession, with the joy of all their heart, with the spiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. All right, so the Lord spoke against them in the fire of his jealousy. What did he say? All right, let's see. Okay, so they took the land and cast out the original inhabitants and scattered them amongst the nations. It's going to tell you here in Joel chapter 3. Okay, it's entitled, The Nations Will Be Judged. All right, it says, Joel 3:1, For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. All right, what does it mean by bring again the captivity? It means that he's going to take those exiles, okay, that are scattered but are primarily here in America, Babylon the Great, and he's going to put them back in their land, which has not happened yet. Okay, when they go back, there will be peace on earth because they don't go back until the Savior comes. And let's go ahead and get the prophecy on that. All right, the actual Israelites don't go back to their land until after the Savior returns. Okay, it's entitled right here, The Coming Messiah, the Righteous Branch. All right, this is Jeremiah 23, okay, in verse 5. It says, Behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth. This is talking about the Savior, Yahushua. All right, it says, In his days shall Judah be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely, and this is his name whereby he shall be called the Lord our righteousness. Okay, so in his days, that's when the Israelites will be delivered out of the land of the north, okay, the land of their captivity, which is going to tell you right here. Okay, next verse, Jeremiah 23:7, For behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that they shall no more say, The Lord liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, okay, North America, and from all the countries whither I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. Okay, so it said that we're no more going to speak about the ancient Egypt deliverance, because there's going to be one that's going to overshadow that. It's going to be greater. Okay, so they're not going to speak on that anymore. They're going to speak about this new deliverance from the land of the north, out of the north country, and then the Israelites will dwell in their own land. So as of right now, Israelites are not in their land. Okay, the Savior also spoke of that as well in Luke 21 and verse 24. All right, and it says, "And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem," okay, the city and the people, "shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled." Okay, so the city is trodden down of the Gentiles, meaning that the people there right now are Gentiles. Okay, they're Esau, which we just read in Ezekiel 36 and 5. So go back here to Joel, the 3rd chapter. All right, Joel 3 and 2. It says, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat," says Jehoshaphat, "and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." We just read that in Ezekiel 36 and 5. Okay, they took the land into their possession and cast out the people for a prey. All right, and that's where we are now. Where the actual biblical Israelites are here in America. Okay, and they are a prey. All right, they were preyed upon by the Edomites that are here. Okay, now that's what the Lord is going to bring, this war that we're seeing. Okay, the Lord is pretty much raising up the nations to go to war against each other. All right, for this purpose, he's pleading the cause of his people. All right, so that's what he said when he said, "I spoken to them in the fire of my jealousy." All right, that's what he's talking about. Okay, and we go to the blue letter. We go into this word for Jehoshaphat. All right, in the Paleo Hebrew, it's Yehoshaphat. Okay, Strong's H3092. Okay, and it says Yahweh has judged. Okay, that's what the word means, Jehoshaphat or Yehoshaphat. Okay, in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, and Shaphat, okay, means judgment. All right, so the Heavenly Father is going to judge. Okay, and that valley of Yehoshaphat is talking about what's known of today is the Middle East. All right, so let's like I said in Ezekiel 36 and 5, they took the land. All right, they scattered the people. Okay, they scattered the actual Israelites among the nations, but we know primarily that they are here in the daughter of Babylon. So the Lord is raising up the nations for the battle of Armageddon. All right, and let's get this right quick. Jeremiah 49 and 20. Okay, so the Lord is raising up the nations in the valley of Yehoshaphat, which means the Father's judgment, and he's using Amalek. All right, he's using the assault that they're doing on the Palestinians to raise up all those different nations for war. Okay, so this is Jeremiah 49 and 20. It says, "Therefore, all right, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he have taken against Edom." Okay, once again, Edom, Idumea, is the one that's in the land right now. This is what the Lord has said against them, and his purposes that he has purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. "Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them." All right, so why are they called the least of the flock? Because they are the one of the smallest countries over there, are in that land, and they're also the smallest of the Edomites. Okay, because Edomites today are so-called white people. All right, which the people over there that are claiming to be the Jews of the Bible, all right, they're really just Eastern Europeans. They're Khazars from the Khazarian Empire. Okay, they're really just Eastern Europeans. They're Edomites. Okay, so the least of the flock, the least of the Edomites, shall draw out all the nations into war. It says, "Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them." Okay, and we see the reason why, because all right, all the Eastern nations, all right, are pissed off about what they're doing. Okay, you have the Russians, which they are allies with Iran, and Iran has gotten in the mix with this Israeli-Palestinian war. Okay, then you have Yemen. Okay, you have Lebanon. Okay, these are all different countries that are Muslim. So the Muslim Brotherhood is getting heavily involved, and Russia and China have an agreement, a military agreement with the Muslim nations. Okay, so this is that big war of Armageddon that's being sparked. Okay, and the Israelis, all right, which go back to Esau, the chief nation of Esau, Amalek. All right, the Lord is using them to light that fire. Okay, by what they're doing to the Palestinians. All right, so surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Why? Because this is going to result in World War III, which this war will be a war of nuclear fire. All right, let's go ahead and get that right quick. Isaiah 9:5. Okay, and it reads, "For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire." Okay, so that's the Israelis, what they're getting themselves into. Now, how does America, Babylon the Great, play into this? Okay, so on top of all of the Eastern world, and really even people within the European nations are angry. Okay, all the Western world, besides pretty much the Edomites over here in America, all right, that's siding with, Slakia. All of the Eastern world is pissed off, and a lot of the Western nations, the European nations, are angry, except for the Edomites that are over here in America. Okay, and they're pretty much side-eyeing Benjamin Milikowski, all right, which is, he's known of as Benjamin Not a Jew. All right, okay, they're side-eyeing him and the Israelis, okay, for their war crimes against the Palestinians. All right, now everything that the Edomite Israelis do, okay, America, its big brother, funds it. All right, and also if they get into too much of a pickle, okay, then America will jump into their rescue and defend them, because America is really owned and ran by the Amalekites over there, the Israelis. All right, so that's why we send them so much money every year out of our tax dollars. Okay, and what this is going to do, this will cause America to get caught up in the war that the Israelis are starting with the Eastern nations. Okay, so this is prophesied of in Jeremiah 50. So we read Jeremiah 49 and 20. Okay, concerning Edom. Well, the same thing is spoken concerning Babylon, which we know America to be the daughter of Babylon. All right, so this is Jeremiah 50 and verse 45. All right, and it reads, "Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, he have taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them." So the Lord spoke this word in Jeremiah 49 and 20, and right here in Jeremiah 50 and 45. The reason why he said it twice is because, okay, this war is going to mostly affect and destroy the land of Israel and America, Babylon the Great. All right, because according to biblical prophecy, the nations are going to shoot missiles upon this place. All the nations of the earth, including the nations that are allies with America, are going to turn on America and shoot missiles upon it. All right, which brings us to the next point. Okay, so as I said before, the other Western nations besides the United States, besides pretty much the Edomites here in the United States of America, they're also condemning the actions of the Amalekite Israelis, and they will declare war on them as well, which by proxy they will be declaring war against the United States, because they're pretty much one and the same entity. All right, this is going to lead us to Revelation 17, where it is prophesied that the multitude of America's allies that are a part of the fourth beast system, all right, which the fourth beast system being the revived Roman Empire, okay, or the Roman Empire, will shoot missiles on America, resulting in Babylon the Great becoming the lake of fire as prophesied. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go to that right quick, and this will be the last few scriptures that we read. Kind of a quick breakdown of Revelation 17. So I'm going to start here from the top. It says, "And there came one of the seven angels, which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters." All right, and that great whore is talking about Babylon the Great. Okay, America. Why does it say that it sits on many waters? Okay, because this place is a merchant all over the world, and then also America, Babylon the Great also has military bases in pretty much every continent, all over the world, and almost every country. As a matter of fact, let's look it up right quick, just out of curiosity. All right, how many military bases does the U.S. have in foreign lands? Let's just look it up and see what it says. Okay. So it says, oh, well, I know that. Okay, here it is. There are around 750 U.S. military bases in at least 80 countries though Al Jazeera says the number may be even higher, as not all data is published by the Pentagon. So I heard somewhere around 800, but yeah, so they have pretty much military bases all over the world in a multitude of countries. All right. So when we go back to Revelation 17, okay, the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. The waters is talking about, it's going to tell you right here, Revelation 17 and 15, and he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, are the people, multitudes, and nations, and tongues. Okay, so all over the world. The waters represents the people of the world. Okay, so Revelation 17 and 2, and whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. All right, and I can go into a deep breakdown of this, but I'm just going to pretty much break it down briefly. Okay, so the kings of the earth committing fornication. Fornication is likened unto spiritual idolatry. All right, so let's go ahead and get the definition on that. All right, Strong's G4203. Okay, porneo, and it says metaphor. All right, definition 3: metaphor to be given to idolatry or to worship idols. All right, so all the nations. Okay, we go back. All right, all the nations have committed fornication with Babylon the Great, meaning they've taken on to its wayward doctrines, philosophies. All right, Salakia. Okay. Oh, goodness. There we go. Oh. Oh, my goodness. Hang on. I'm trying to get this to close out. No, we don't need this anymore. Let me just refresh the page. Okay. Salakia, excuse me. So all the nations have pretty much taken on the ways of Babylon. All the nations, they want to be like America, Babylon the Great. You got women over there in the so-called Middle East, talking about feminism now. Okay, where are they learning that from? They're learning that from American media. So the influence of America, all right, with all of its wayward, what's I'm looking for, pretty much satanic doctrines are going out the four corners of the earth. All right, verse 3, it says, so he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. All right, now scarlet, when you go into that word, okay, it tells you red. All right, Esau is associated with red. Go back to Genesis 25 and 25. Okay, and that woman that sits upon the beast, which is the beast is Esau's kingdom. All right, which today is the revived Roman Empire. The woman that sits upon the beast is talking about America, Babylon the Great. All right, the daughter of Babylon. So the woman sit upon the scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, this beast has 7 heads and 10 horns. This is talking about essentially the 7 kings, all right, of the European power structure, and then 10 vassal states, all right, or 10 lesser kings, you could say. So out of the 7 heads, all right, the 7 heads represents the Greeks, the Romans, the Spanish, the French, Germania Major, Germania Minor, and Britain. All right, those are the 7 heads. Okay, and the 10 horns represents the original members of the EU. All right, which the EU used to be known of in the beginning of its inception as the EEC. Okay, let's look it up, and there's really 12 members, but I'll show you something real quick. Give me a sec. So 12 original members of the European Union. All right, it lists them off. Where is it at? Okay, I just want a straight answer. Hang on, let me see. Belgium, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Germany, Denmark, Greece, Ireland. No, that's not all of them. Hang on, bear with me. Let me see. Where is it at? It only lists all. It says there's 12, and then it only lists off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know why it's not giving me the full list of them, but one second, let's see. Okay, I think this is it right here. Austria, Belgium, Finland, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands. Yep, okay, this is the list right here. All right, so let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right, it's... Hang on, Salakia, bear with me. Let me see if I don't know why I can't find this is the original 12. Let me see. It tells you there's 12, but then it doesn't give you the actual list. But you know what? There's a list here. Let me see. Salakia for that. There's a picture of the beast. Boom. Okay. Not too much. All right, so there we go. Okay, it lists them off. It says Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Greece, Spain, and Portugal. Right, which it lists those as separate. All right, England and Ireland. Okay, and then West Germany. Okay, so these are like smaller, kings or rulerships or cities or governments, you could say. They don't have as much power as the 7. All right, but Spain and Portugal, it lists them as separate, and also England and Ireland when you look up the 12, but they're really the same area. Okay, Spain and Portugal is known of as what's known of as the it's called the Iberian Peninsula, and then you have England and Ireland. Okay, that's just a part of the UK. Okay, they're really one nation. All right, so lucky for that. But let's go back. So that's the 7 heads and the 10 horns. It's just talking about the conglomeration of different European powers. All right, and then verse 4 it says, and the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet. All right, purple is likened unto royalty. Okay, that was a color that was used back then to signify royalty or lavishness. All right, purple and scarlet, decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with blood of the saints, with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushai. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. So the woman being drunken with the blood of the saints, when the Israelites came to Babylon the Great, okay, what happened? All right, well, the southern kingdom came to Babylon the Great. What happened? They were enslaved, okay, maimed, tortured, beat, okay. And then you have the northern kingdom. What happened to them? Okay, vast majority were slaughtered and the land was stolen. All right, so that's what it's talking about, the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushai. When I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee a mystery of the woman and the beast that carrieth her, which have 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. All right, now what is that talking about? Okay, the Roman Empire, it fell around the 5th century, all right, 4th or 5th century AD, and it fell for about 1,000 years, and it was brought back up during what's known as the Renaissance period or the rebirth. Okay, that's the 4th beast. It's the Roman Empire. All right, so okay, it says the beast that thou sawest was, all right, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. All right, and they that shall dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is. All right, the Roman Empire. And here's the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth. Okay, once again, these are kings. All right, which is going to tell you. Okay, and there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. Okay, now the 7 kings. Okay, I broke that down. That is going into Rome, the Greeks, the Romans, the Spanish, the French, Germania Major, Germania Minor, and then Britain. Right. So you have 7 kings. 5 are fallen. All right. Which were the ones that fell? The 5 that fell were the Greeks. Okay, because the Greeks were overtaken by the Romans. Germania Major, Germania Minor, and then you had the Spanish and the French. Okay, those are the 5 that fell. All right, and the 1 was the Roman Empire. Okay, because the Roman Empire was the one that had the dominant power at that time. Okay, and then the one that is yet to come, the other is not yet come, is talking about America, Babylon the Great. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. Okay, so the America is going to be one of the shortest rulerships out of all the European kingdoms. All right, verse 11, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7 and goeth into perdition. Okay, so why does it say the beast that was, all right, and is not? Okay, because the what's it gonna say? The Salakia, the America came out of the Roman Empire. Okay, America came out of the Roman Empire, and so that's why he's of the seven, and he's going into perdition because America, which is the daughter of Babylon, according to Isaiah the 13th chapter, perdition means destruction. All right, America is going to be completely wiped out by nuclear fire. All right, now verse 12, and the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as of yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. Okay, so these 10 horns, all right, like I said, Italy, Luxembourg, all right, these different nations that were part of the EU. Okay, they never really had mass power like the Greeks and the Romans did. Okay, the Greeks had power with Alexander the Great, and the Roman Empire, they had taken over pretty much the whole known world at that time. Okay, the 10 kings, which are the nations that make up the original of the European Union, all right, they never had, like Luxembourg, okay, they never had like strong kingdoms like the seven did. All right, but okay, they all have joined together unto this revived Roman Empire in today's terms as America, NATO, and the EU. All right, so that's what it says. But receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. It says these have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. All right, so let's continue on. Okay, and here's we're gonna get to the part about America. It says these shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them. When Yahushua returns, okay, all the nations that are in World War III fighting against each other, all right, they're going to turn to fight against the Lord. Okay, but he's going to overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. Okay, that's going to be the elect. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, all right, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. All right, so the nations that are part of NATO and the EU, okay, because the beast really comprises of America, NATO, and the EU, with America sitting on top, America being that whore that sits on top of the beast. Okay, and the whole thing together comprises of what's known of, as you could say, the revived Roman Empire. Okay, but 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. So America's European allies, okay, they're going to hate America and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Now, why is this going to happen? Because as we read earlier in the articles, okay, the vast majority of nations on the earth, okay, even the European nations that are part of the beast system, all right, they hate what's going on with Benjamin Milikowski, what he's doing over there to the Palestinians. All right, so this is going to pretty much make it to where people have to choose a side. The different nations are going to choose a side. Okay, and the only ones that are going to be on the side of the Israelis is going to be America, Babylon the Great. So when this war turns nuclear, okay, it's pretty much going to be America and the Israelis against the whole world. All right, it says, for the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will, and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of God, Yahweh shall be fulfilled. Okay, so for a long time, all right, all the nations have pretty much, favored America, Babylon the Great. But that's until the time where the Lord flips the switch, okay, and he's going to have all of the nations, okay, not only the eastern nations, but our allies as well, okay, the 10 horns, okay, of the beast are going to turn on the great whore, and they're going to burn her with fire, okay, and that's going to fulfill the prophecy. All right, it says, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. Okay, and you see the word city. Okay, really, where do you get that word from? It comes from citizens. So the Lord sees this place as just one great city. Okay, the citizens of the United States of America. All right, and this is that great whore that reigns over the kings of the earth. Okay, but that reign is coming to an end. Okay, the harlot that sits on top of the beast, okay, that is coming to an end, and the beast system, the rest of the beast, is going to turn and shoot missiles upon this place, and that's how it's going to start. Okay, according to biblical prophecy, it's going to start off from what we're seeing going on right now in the so-called Middle East. All right, so Salaki, I know it was a little choppy with the Revelation 17. I didn't want to make the video too long. That's why I didn't go deep into the breakdown with scriptures and everything, with precepts. But if you do have any questions on that chapter, you can put it on the comment section. I'll be happy to actually go deep into what everything means, in the chapter. Alright, I was just trying to make this video as quick as possible. But with that being said, okay, anyways, Lord's will, it was edifying. And as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Alright, and until next time, Shalom.